My name's Aaron Massey and welcome back to another episode of Homeschooled. For today's project, I'm going to show you how you can make your home just a little bit smarter by updating your switches to new smart devices that you can control from your tablet or smartphone from anywhere. I rate these projects by how many F-bombs you're likely to drop while tackling the project. This one is pretty easy, but it can vary a little based on the type and age of the wiring in your home. The good people over at Leviton sent me some of their new smart home switches to include in my latest remodel project. So I wanted to show you guys how I went about doing that. But before we actually go about replacing this switch, I just wanted to give a basic overview on how a switch works. Understanding how it works helps you know how to fix and replace things if things go wrong. Now this is an example of a typical basic switch. We've got a single light on a circuit with a switch installed to control the light. We've got three wires: the black wire, which is the hot wire, the white wire, which is our neutral wire, and the bare copper wire, which is the ground. In this example, when the switch is in the on position, current flows from the panel to the switch and out to the light through the hot wire. The current then passes through the bulb, illuminating it, and then returns back to the panel through the neutral wire. If everything is going as it should, the ground wire doesn't do anything. When the switch is off, the flow of current is interrupted on the hot wire so that the circuit can't be completed and the light doesn't illuminate. So now that we've seen kind of the basics of how a switch like this works, we can replace it, and the first thing that I'm going to do is to remove the cover plate in the existing switch. You want to make sure that the power is off at the breaker, and one way to test that is to use a voltage tester like the one I have here. If the voltage tester beeps, that means there's voltage present and it's not really safe to work on the wire. Once you verified that the power is off, you can actually remove the switch itself. I understand that many of you may have old wiring in your home that's hard to identify. Much of my house is like that. Using a voltage tester can help you figure out which wires are which as well. With the switch out of the way, we can look at our wiring. We have our load wire going to the light, our hot line in from the panel, and our neutral wires connected in a wire nut in the back. Our ground wires are also connected with the wire nut with a small piece of extra wire coming out of it, which was connected to the ground screw on the switch. This technique is called pigtailing, and it allows you to only use one wire on the ground screw of the switch. A common electrical mistake that DIY homeowners often make is connecting multiple wires to a single terminal on a receptacle or a switch, which is against the code, and if an electrical inspector looks at it, they're going to fail it. So now we're ready for our new switch, and as you can tell, it looks considerably different than the previous. The new one has a lot more terminal screws. It has a silver screw, a reddish screw, a green ground screw, a black screw on the other side, and a screw underneath this piece of tape which says only to use this terminal if it's a three-way switch. So in this case, we're not going to worry about that. Now the difference between this switch and a typical switch is that this switch actually requires a neutral wire, which is the silver terminal screw. It comes with an included wiring diagram in case you get a little confused, but first I'm going to start by connecting our hot line wire from the panel to the black terminal screw on the switch. Next, I'm connecting the hot load wire that runs to the light to the red terminal screw. From there, I'm going to take a small piece of extra white wire and create a pigtail for the neutral connection. I'll strip off each end of the wire just enough so that one end can be tied together with the other neutral wires under the wire nut, and the other end can be secured to the terminal screw on the switch itself. Lastly, I'll reconnect the pigtailed ground wire to the ground screw terminal, and then I like to take a piece of electrical tape and wrap it around the switch or the receptacle and cover the terminal heads, because people have a tendency to grab receptacles or switches from the sides when they're pulling them out of the box, which can create a circuit and get yourself shocked. So I like to just eliminate that by putting some electrical tape around it and encourage people to, when they're pulling out a receptacle or a switch out of a box, grab it from the top and the bottom rather than from the sides to eliminate the risk of shock. And then once that's done, I can push the switch back into the box. So that's it as far as the actual wiring of this switch. And it may seem a little bit confusing, but trust me, as you do it a little bit, you'll get more familiar with it. And as long as you can keep track of which wires are which, you'll be totally fine. So now we can actually focus on what makes these smart devices. And to get started, we have to download the My Leviton app from the App Store. Once you have the app downloaded, just follow the setup prompts to set up an account, find and name your device. And once it's done, you can control the switch from your smartphone or tablet from anywhere in the house or from across the country if you want. And there are dimmer versions of these switches available as well. Another cool feature about these devices is they actually work with your Amazon Echo or Google Home as well. So to set that up, all you need to do is set up your Amazon Echo or Google Home.
Hello. Your Amazon Echo Dot is ready for setup.
Link it to your My Leviton app so that they can communicate, and then you can just ask Alexa to turn on or turn off your lights. Alexa, turn off the light.
Okay.
Now I understand that replacing an electrical switch isn't for everybody, and maybe you're a renter, but you still want to have a little bit of a smarter home. Leviton also makes these plug-in versions of these smart devices, so you can plug this into any traditional outlet, plug in the device that you want to control with it. Maybe it's a fan or a lamp or a stereo, and then you can control whatever device is plugged into this smart device as well. Well, that's it for this episode of Homeschooled. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something. Most of all, I hope it gave you a little confidence that you can tackle some of your own basic electrical tasks around the house without having to outsource it to somebody else. I want to say a special thank you to Leviton for sending over these smart devices so that I could use them in my latest remodel. And if you guys want to get a hold of your own Decora smart switch, make sure you go to the link in the description down below and use the promo code MrFixit at checkout for 30% off. And if you want to check out more of my videos, I'll leave links to those right here, or you can always visit my website at MrFixitDIY.com. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.